Yes. Yes. Well, by all means, come through. What time do you call this? Well, I wasn't expecting you 30 seconds previous to this. This, unfortunately, to me, is what I consider to be rather late. So, because you wasted just a little bit of my time, then allow me to replicate the favor back to you, okay? So, starting from now, okay? So, I assume that you know why you're here today. Well, this is not where you wish to find yourself after you finish your day of classes, is it? No, it certainly is not. Well, you are here for a reason. Would you care to inform me as to your reason why you're here after your classes, having to see me? Do elaborate on your wild tales of today's events, please, by all means. Okay, so you have been singled out. And none of this was your fault. Well, how unfortunate for you. Unfortunately for you, it is not my job to decide whether or not you should or should not be here. The fact you are here means you will serve your detention. Is that understood? Okay, so that doesn't correlate with the reason that I got sent here. What was your name again? My detention book is pretty full at the moment. Got a lot of searching to do for your name. Sorry, what was your name again? Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, it's such an awful name. I seem to have put it in the wrong place. It's caught me off guard. Yes, you were in here. Okay, so that happened today precisely at 2:30 p.m. It states here that you, for the 5th time in a row, have repeatedly fallen asleep in class. Now, granted, this is a Saturday, but we here like to make sure all students have an equal opportunity and every single day of the week to study and work. So as to why you are falling asleep precisely around the 2 o'clock to 2:30 region repeatedly, it was concerning your teacher. And because you appear to have done it on multiple occasions, you have granted yourself detention. Congratulations. So are you familiar with me? Well, I'm not so familiar with you. You have no importance to me. Okay. So you are got a little bit of a reputation for myself around here, have I not? Of course, if you see me after classes, you'll be seeing me for detention. Well, let me talk to you about my detentions. They're not like what you would imagine a normal detention to be. Usually, maybe I'd give you lines to do, something like that. Write out 100 lines for me, and you'll be gone. And lo and behold, you'll be back here the following week with the same problem. The same frustrated teacher getting in contact with me. And I have better things to do with my time. I don't want to see the likes of you and your types of people in here all the time. This is my private time, the peace and quiet time. I like to be able to get on my work and reading and not have to sit here with the likes of you. Okay, so it is different from the normal detention, whereas you would sit here and do the normal things as a punishment or something like that. My ones, I would like to get to the root of the cause as to why you're here in detention. So instead of being monotonously bored doing the lines or something, allow me to offer you a different type of activity for you to be equally monotonously bored, where we try to figure out and cure this little problem you seem to have picked up here, falling asleep in class. So when the teacher got in contact with me, I had a little chat. He told me what you were doing in your class, what you were studying, why you were falling asleep, and you answered because you were tired, sir. I'm sure that it granted you a lot of laughs in your class, did it not? Well, it didn't with me. I immediately thought about what we can do to cure this little dilemma of yours. So your detention today, we're going to learn how to combat this situation. Now, they did actually go in depth here as to why you were falling asleep when you were confronted by your lecturer about why you were falling asleep in your words, and I made sure that they locked this down so I can have it as a reference here for you. I have no smart asses trying to outsmart me, thank you. It says you were falling asleep due to the nature of the relaxing sound and the term I'm not familiar with, ASMR, some made-up word that your lecturer didn't understand. So I put my thinking cap on, and being quite the intuitive person and also someone who is of course here to help, I looked this up and see if we could validate that claim of yours, and it turns out there is a thing called ASMR, surprisingly. You notice things like this, don't you? Little tiny movements which I've been doing, and I've been watching your eyes drooping ever so slightly since you walked in. Now, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have you here. We're going to go through the process of sounds. I'm going to replicate things that might have happened in your lecture earlier on. And if you fall asleep, then you will earn yourself the rest of a year's worth of detention every single week coming back to see me should you fall asleep. If I see that drowsy, gazed, far-off, distant look pointed in my direction, I will classify that also as falling asleep. Do you think I make myself clear here? Just to sum up this whole experience for you, that you will be spending one hell of a lot of time with me, whereas I will have a lot of paperwork to do, and you could help me with it. Now, in the very little free time that you have here, do you think you wish to spend all your time with me? Sitting by my side, getting through the paperwork, not necessarily have to do every stationary chore, like sharpening pencils and things like that. I'm sure you would not. I'm sure you have better things to do with your time, and I certainly wouldn't want this to be the case. Still, I'm afraid this is probably going to be the only fair way to cure this little dilemma of yours here in detention. Do I make myself clear so far? Okay, so perhaps you would like to tell me things what were making you feel drowsy, things which were making you close your eyelids and fall asleep in class. Poppycock, my dear person, we all do one hell of a lot of work here. You do have a lot of work to do, granted, but that is no excuse. Please continue. The sounds that your lecturer has been making are very interesting. Okay. And is this what you told your lecturer? Okay, this is what you told your lecturer. So books do go on. Page turning. Some words that you can't understand. Okay. Cups of tea. No doubt, lecture drinking it, of course. Pencils. So, that seems to be quite a narrow collection there for you to point your blame as to why you were falling asleep in class. Still, I'm sure we'll be able to remedy this. So it just so happens that I have, I'm sorry, was that your mobile telephone there? If you give that to me, and I'll be confiscating that for you. Thank you. I should be popping it down here. This is your mobile phone, yeah. So you won't have this for the rest of the day. Please come back to see me about that one. Same as in class, no mobile telephones in class as it is in detention, I'm afraid. So really not getting off to a good start with me, I'm afraid. Okay. So, to your discomfort, I actually had all those items written down as your lecturer did inform me. So I have here with me, where is it? Here. Pencils. Plenty of pencils for you. Oh, lots of page turning as well. This might be one of them as well. Made up words, what like when the lecturer is speaking to themselves, perhaps in a slightly muffled tone. Say if they went to someone to help them when they just need a little bit of help with their work, and they come over, explain what the problem is, why you don't get it, or a little word in your ear about something like that. It triggers this ASMR. Does it really, indeed, of course. Teacup, yes, check. Filtered brim with tea bags, something that your lecturer no doubt enjoys. Most likely having to put up with the likes of you, no doubt. Okay, so you know the protocol here. So we're going to work with this here, and we're going to try and make you stay awake, not fall asleep. Keep your eyes open so you can feel alert at all times, so you're ready to persevere in all your endeavours in your classwork here in the lecture rooms. Okay, so this will require absolutely no more talking from you. I wish for you to remain almost like a robot. That will make it a lot easier for me to make these sounds which you so desperately struggle to stay awake to, apparently. Now, if you don't show signs of falling asleep, then I will indicate that as lying, and as complete nonsense that you were falling asleep to these sounds. So really, please think carefully about what you decide to do here. Okay, so let us get some sounds here for you. Okay. great cup of tea. No doubt your lecturer enjoys a cup of tea. Having to talk for I don't know how long, educating the likes of you, I'm sure they would prefer to be drinking cups of tea and slurping a delicious herbal concoction from their teacup. It certainly is delicious. Sorry, do I see your eyes slightly drooping there? Where you seem to be drifting off? No? So let me continue drinking my cup of tea. How pleasant it is to drink tea, especially in an educational environment where tea and academia are the perfect mix. The perfect mix. I would offer you a cup of tea, but you are in detention, so protocol tells me that I'm not allowed to offer you such things, and I wouldn't want to anyway, because I don't wish to have you touching any of my teacups or saucers. Okay. What an extremely pleasant cup of tea. Almost as if you wish to fall asleep because it's so relaxing. Cups of tea. You appear to be alert still. I can change this. A textbook here, full of text that you wish to fall asleep to. Going through all those pages must be quite sleep-inducing, almost as if you would like to fall asleep. Why not fall asleep? It'd certainly be quite easy to just drift off listening to those pages flip and turn as they touch one another and form a textbook. Why not fall asleep? Just succumb to the pleasant sounds of paper on paper as it drifts you gently away to fall asleep. There's plenty of this in class. Plenty of pages and books, all manner of things which make you feel nice and relaxed. So we'll do a little bit of tapping on there, shall we? Yes. Perhaps there'll be quite a lot of pointing, actually, when your lecturer instructs you to look at something. Perhaps look at this right here. It makes quite a pleasant tapping noise, doesn't it? A sort of gentle tap that you want to get this ASMR, maybe? Does that make you get this ASMR sensation that you are falling asleep to? Lots and lots of tapping all over everything. Tapping a bit over there and tapping there on the book, all these textbooks that we've been tapping on. I would want to fall asleep. In fact, I think I'm falling asleep now. Are you falling asleep? Are you falling asleep? I hope that you're not. Good. There we go. Lots and lots of tapping noises. Just keep Well, that's two that you've managed to stay awake for. Let's see if we can keep this up, shall we? What is it that these teachers have in their teacups? It's tea bags, isn't it? Yes, we're going to get some tea bags now and make some sounds. Okay. These sound like they're going to be very ASMR. Triangular tea bag filled with herbal tea, making really nice sounds. Also giving off the scent of what you smell right now. That's the tea bag. It's relaxing. It makes great sounds for falling asleep. Expect something would make you fall asleep a little bit more. Would be another tea bag making another sound in the other side of your head, so you can hear the sound of herbal tea everywhere. I expect this is what your lecturer does when they've had enough of teaching you for the day. So they fetch their herbal tea bags, unravel them in a completely silent room, and make that noise before they're about to pop it in their tea bag, in their tea cup. Relaxing, lovely herbal tea. Try not to feel sleepy at all, but this tea makes your eyes want to close, don't they? Look at the clock. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's the time that you want to fall asleep. Why don't you fall asleep? Well, you appear to have passed that little test there as well. So, my detention so far appears to be working. You are indeed learning, and I hope learning to stay awake, so I don't have your lecturer teacher on my case again having to contact me for the likes of you. So that was another thing, but we're not home yet. So I thought that the books that you have in your rooms and classes aren't good enough. So maybe you might feel a little bit more at ease with something a little bit more interesting. This is a thick book. It's making even better sounds than the previous textbook. Try not to fall asleep. perfectly flipping for the perfect sleep. Doesn't it just make you want to fall asleep? All that text in there, it might make you want to fall asleep, but the sounds definitely make me want to fall asleep and feel this ASMR concoction which you have concocted. All those pages, so many pages to relax to. You appear to have remained conscious for that one. Congratulations. This is another one that you seem to be falling asleep to in class, but you haven't done it here in detention so far. So, what time is it here? Okay, so you've been here for 30 minutes now. Right, well, unfortunately for you, my detentions could last up to a couple of hours, depending on how you are, if you're able to succeed in the tests, that is, and how you are doing with those. Would you consider yourself doing well with these little experiments that we're working with right now to help you persevere in class and to remain conscious and alert when you need to? This is all for the greater good of your education, for your general sense of common courtesy towards others, especially those who are teaching you. Okay, though it has been 30 minutes, hasn't it? You must be feeling a little bit sleepy about now. Well, why don't I just get a couple more sounds here for you and see if you fall asleep and earn yourself a year's worth of detentions. Remember, if you don't fall asleep, then of course you have been lying that you get this ASMR thing and have no reaction to the sounds. Then equally there will be punishment for lying, of course. So I made a personal trip out to get these pencils for you. As I heard that these are quite relaxing. No, I'm allowed to close my eyes, by the way, just so you know. That's only allowed if you are a person who is given the detention, of course. So don't feel like that is something that you need to replicate because I'm doing it. Like I said, I'd like to keep one step ahead of smart artists like yourself, because I know what you're thinking, of course. Okay. some sounds here for you. What a great collection of pencils. Something that you use a lot in class, of course. I believe, is that your phone going off again? I'm afraid I'm going to have to confiscate that for extra time. I really thought you would have the common courtesy not to bring it in here with you. As I've had the common courtesy not to fall asleep like you do in your classes. Extremely extraordinary. You appear to have managed to regain your consciousness, but at the same time, instead of that gormless look that you have been somewhat sporting the whole time you've been here, instead it is this sort of dazed look. I so happen to have looked this up, this ASMR thing, and it actually describes exactly what you are looking like right now. Quite surprising. To me, that indicates that you might have been experiencing this ASMR and very well may not be lying at all about this sound thing. This indeed could be a serious problem, and furthermore might need extra time to help you get through this little thing you're experiencing right now, as we would want you to fall asleep in all your studies here. Your studies reflects your teachers, the establishment, the place where you learn. This, we can't have you fall asleep. We wouldn't want anyone getting upset with the high reputation that we like to uphold here. Okay, so keeping an eye out on that one there. I'll tell you what, that is combine your favourite things here. So it's kind of the muffled voices, what it's muffling about nothing. Sounds of pencil on paper. Exceptionally relaxing, is it not? Okay, so I might just a little bit muffling. Kind of working on so might look at it. That's good out. that's it, isn't it? So you can't quite understand what that person is saying, but that can induce this ASMR. Yes, that's it, the look that you are very much sporting right now. Yes, I see it. I see it right there before my own eyes. How fascinating. Let me continue. Congratulations. You appear to have succeeded on our little, shall we say, little test that we're performing in today's detention. See, like I said at the start, that detentions here with me are productive, and we like to work towards something and fundamentally homing in on the reason as to why you're here and then curing it so you don't come back. It really would not be a pleasure of mine to see you here again, so of course I had to threaten you with multiple detentions afterwards to make sure that you will continue to compose yourself and be 100% committed in today's activities. This is a little technique I've learned over the years, being detention master here. So once again, it has worked its trick. So please tell me, do you intend on falling asleep during integral points in class? And when I say integral, I mean all of your studies here when you're in class. You don't. Oh, congratulations. And how are you going to stay awake? Well done. In fear of having to come back to see me again for further detentions. Well, of course, your teachers will let me know that lecturers should another problem arise. I know your sort. You will say something and then you will do the complete opposite. And lo and behold, I will see you here again. Though I have slight confidence, the most microscopic, minute piece of confidence that you endeavour to keep in the back of your head are techniques you learned here today. Should you feel like you wish to fall asleep, then just think about your time here with me. You don't wish to come back to see the detention master again, do you not? Of course, some may consider me as a little bit rude. I consider it to be productive. Of course, I am here to help your time here be more enjoyable and productive and successful. This is all for your own benefit and to make you a better person. Like I once had here as well. And I am a better person. Well, I was never like you. No, I wasn't even close. I just didn't have anything similar to you at all. I mean, look at you and this and me and how I look. There's too much contrasting things, but you get the sort of idea I'm talking about. Yeah, so I believe it has been nearly 45 minutes, so congratulations. I think you can go, but remember, if you intend on falling asleep again to this ASMR nonsense, which you appear to have picked up from somewhere, that's your next detention. I'll endeavour to think up something a little bit more creative and mundane for you, so your teachers don't come running over to me and annoying me again. Okay, so please be gone. Don't touch anything as you go out. Be quiet when you close the door, Okay, yes, right. Let's go about your business. You